What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. GT Jesse here with another Gran Turismo 7 decal video. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can create that Jaguar on the side of your car with the negative effect without using any of the decals that are in the game. So that's a completely custom decal that I created. I used graphic editing software on my computer. You can do it too. It's really straightforward, really simple to do. And by doing this, you're basically going to enable yourself to create decals that have a metallic effect. So everybody wants to know, like, how can I get a metallic colored decal? And in this game, unfortunately, your decals can be glossy, they can be matte, they can be semi-matte, or they can be powder. But you can't really make your decals metallic. The only thing that can be metallic is the paint underneath your decal. And so if you want your decal to appear metallic, you have to create a decal like the one you see on the side of this car, where it has that stencil effect or that cutout effect, also known as the negative effect. So we're gonna go on ahead and jump right in. I'm gonna show you how I did this. It's gonna be in like the first 5-6 minutes of this video, so it doesn't take a long time. Feel free to watch. I know the video is quite a bit longer, but at the end of this video, I have a time lapse of how I created this livery for this Jaguar. So if you like the video, please do hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel for more great Gran Turismo 7 content in the future. And let me know what you think in the comments below, or if you have any questions, or if anything wasn't clear in the instructions that I provided. But I am fully confident that after watching this video, you're gonna be well on your way to creating cutout / stencil / silhouette effect decals like you see on the side of this Jaguar. Okay, so we are in Inkscape now, and I actually have 3 examples that I'm going to go over with you today. We have this colored Porsche logo, we have this PNG Jaguar logo over here, and then we have this JPEG Fox Racing logo. And you can tell that the JPEG, the Fox Racing logo is a JPEG because the background is opaque. You can tell that this is a PNG because the background is transparent. And so I want to go through a couple of these different examples because they're each going to be handled a little bit differently. And so we're going to resize this Porsche one to be similar to the others first. And actually, real quick tip here. So you see how this is kind of like a freeform resizing. Let me go on ahead and just revert back to original. There's 2 ways that you can resize objects in Inkscape and retain, basically lock the dimensions, if you will, so that you don't skew logos and things like that to look how they're not supposed to look. One is to hold down Control while you do the resize, and that's going to lock the dimensions that way. The other way is you can go up here and click this padlock, and that's going to lock the dimensions as well. So convenient, and that basically locks it for all of the objects that you're working with. So a good rule of thumb, if you're working with logos that you're replicating, you're going to want to lock that. If you're working with logos that you're creating by hand and you're freeforming it, then maybe you don't lock it. Okay, so starting off with the Jaguar logo here. And I do want to mention that there are several different ways that you can do this. This is the only way that I've found that I can get to consistently work with the Gran Turismo servers. So if you hop on YouTube or you hop on Google and you see some of the other different techniques that people are using, where they might come in here and they'll do like a difference, or maybe they'll do like a mask and set inverse. It's not going to work for that for a different reason. But either way, those are different ways that you can accomplish this with other steps involved as well. But the output does not seem to be compatible with the Gran Turismo servers. And so I'm going to show you the way that it's actually very similar to the previous decal video that I made in Inkscape, and it's using the trace bitmap function. So if we select our object and then make sure, so this is the select tool, right? It's just the mouse over here. And so if you accidentally select something else or a different tool, you just go back over here to this little mouse, and that allows you to go back to the select tool. And then we're going to go to path and trace bitmap. And trace bitmap is what we're going to use to basically get the stencil effect that we're looking for. But the trace bitmap function that we do here is going to be a little bit different from the trace bitmap function that we did before. So before we used trace bitmap and we did multiple scans, and then we did colors, and basically we did that to basically convert color pictures off of the internet and convert them into vectors. So if we, I probably shouldn't do this because I'm gonna end up going down a rabbit hole, and this is gonna take up way too much time. So I'm gonna just undo that. But that's a different video. I already made it and I uploaded it. What we're going to do today is single scan instead of multiple scan. And then you want to come over here, and you can either do edge detection or brightness cutoff. And I'll show you the difference between the two of these. But for the Jaguar logo, to get that stencil effect, we want to do brightness cutoff. And then if you click update here, it's going to give you a preview of what that's going to look like. And so what we want to do after we select brightness cutoff is select invert image. And for the Jaguar logo, you don't really need to change the threshold. And I pretty much don't change these options at all when I'm going through these steps for these logos. But with the Jaguar logo, you don't really need to change the brightness threshold. And if we click apply, we can then peel off the original, and we can see here that we now have a very nice stencil that we can overlay on metallic paint or carbon paint, and that paint is going to show through the bottom here. And we can, when we change the color in Gran Turismo of this decal, we can change the color to whatever we want. We can have it have a powder, powder surface. It can be a matte surface, a half matte surface. It can be any color that we want it to be that's within just the regular color wheel within the decal editor. And the color underneath that's in the stencil is going to show through. So that works, and that works very beautifully for this type of PNG decal, right? So this is already a PNG image that I downloaded from the internet, so it's really easy to work with in Inkscape already. But what if what we download instead is a JPEG? Is that going to change how we create the stencil effect? Let's have a look. So we've got this object selected, and let's go on ahead and click update. And we can see here, actually, it looks pretty good. Let me just show you real quick though, because this is a JPEG, and what we know about JPEGs is when you resize them to be really big and you zoom in, you can actually see that there's a lot of quality that's lost. So if we made this really big and tried to put this JPEG on a poster, for example, it's gonna look really bad. It's gonna look really grainy. If you've ever tried to take pictures that you maybe took on your phone and then use one of those like canvas photo things online where you take that picture and you project it onto like a 24-inch photo frame, and then you print that and they mail it to you and you get it and it looks grainy. It's probably because that picture, well, it wasn't high enough resolution, and the fact that it's a JPEG makes it so that when you blow it up, it loses a lot of its quality. So you can see that when I zoom in on this Fox logo, that's basically what's happening here. And so let's say we had this brightness threshold higher for whatever reason. When you do that, you'll basically see that it starts to capture some of the effect of that data that we've lost. So it's basically getting really detailed, more or less, in its conversion. And because of that, when we apply this, we'll see that we start to get these weird little cutouts and these pieces that are kind of getting chunked out because they're lower resolution parts of the image. So because of that, all you have to do, if you do see that with a picture like this, is just try adjusting the brightness cutoff or brightness threshold, and it's most of the time, let me go on ahead and I need to select the object. It's going to look pretty good. So peel back the original, and there it is. Oops, that Fox logo also looks really good now. So that's a nice stencil. That's ready to be uploaded. And then the last one is this Porsche logo. And I wanted to work on this one with you because A, it is colors. B, it has some gradients. It also has a lot of really fine details. And then it has this funky background as well. And so with this, let's go over to brightness cutoff, single scan, and just see what it looks like as is. And you can see it actually doesn't look bad using just these default settings that we're at. But I want to show you a couple different ways that you can play with this. So we're going to flip over to edge detection. And now if you do it, you get a completely, I won't say completely different, but you get a slightly different output. So brightness cutoff, again, it's kind of using the contrasting parts of the picture to create your stencil. And let's go on ahead and create that. And then we're going to peel it off to the side here. And I mean, honestly, that looks pretty good. Like, that would look really good if you uploaded it onto a car. But then let's go on ahead and flip over to edge detection, and we'll do that one as well. There we go. These are making my computer hurt. It's not powerful enough. But, there you go. So, like, those are the differences between edge detection and brightness cutoff. But also with edge detection, instead of just getting this stencil effect, like you see with the Jaguar here, you can also use it to get an outline. And so edge detection is selected. We're going to select this logo here, update, and now you can see that when we apply that, it's a slightly different effect. So it really just depends on what the outcome is that you're looking for, and how you want to use it. Maybe you want both. Maybe you want to overlay them on top of each other. I don't know. There's a million different ways that you can use the software to get a desired result. And so those are a couple of different ways that you can then create these logos, save them, and upload them to the Decal uploader and use them on the liveries that you create in the Gran Turismo ecosystem. And so I'm going to go on ahead and save these individually, and I'll upload them and show you what it looks like, finished product on the car. So that is how you create custom decals that have the silhouette or cutout effect. And if you're looking for how to upload those decals, or maybe how to fine tune the decals that you're creating using Inkscape, I've got a couple other videos that are in this playlist that you can watch that'll give you a lot more information in that regard. But that is how you specifically just create the cutout. Beyond that, if you have any follow-up questions, just feel free to let me know. I do my best to respond to all of the comments. I can't always get to them right away, just with work and everything, but I do usually respond to all of the comments, at least most of them. Beyond that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't yet, please do hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel for more Gran Turismo 7 content in the future. I really do hope you found this video helpful. I know there was a lot of people that were trying to figure out how to do this, and I hope this video just helps to illustrate that it's not that difficult, and maybe this will be a nice little weekend project for you to figure out. So anyways, yeah, thanks again for watching, y'all, and have a great rest of your day.